Hello, scientists. Today we're playing the moose population simulation game. In this game, we are going to simulate a population of 10 moose for 3 rounds, and we are going to follow them from fall through if they were successful in breeding, into winter forage if they get enough food in winter, and into spring and summer forage if they get enough food in spring and summer in order to reproduce and have their baby grow up to be an adult moose. So if you take a look here in fall, we have our whether our moose is going to survive or not. And the example I have up here right now says survive. Fall breeding success says do not find a mate. Winter forage says enough, baby was born at the end of spring. But you need to think about this. If we didn't find a mate, we can't have a magical baby in the moose belly. So there would not be a baby here. However, the adult moose that survived the fall would still be alive. And for summer forage, we had enough. And again, we don't have the calf, we don't have the baby moose, but we do still have the adult from the fall surviving through summer. So with this information, you're going to fill out what we call the moose game board. And that is this selection. So as you can see, fall breeding success, winter forage, summer forage are the same headers as you see here. And what we're going to do is we are going to do this for 10 moose. Our first moose is the data I just showed you, and I'm going to show you how that looks in this table to determine how many moose we have after the end of 1 year of moose breeding. In order to fill out these parts in the table, what you need to do is you need to go to the last slide. And on this last slide, there are a bunch of different icons. You have let me make it a little bigger for you so you can see. You have the adult moose, you have the baby moose, you have found a mate, didn't find a mate, forage enough, forage barely enough, and we also have the adult did not survive and the baby did not survive icons. And how you're going to use these is as follows. So the first part of my game, my adult moose survived. So on my moose board, I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to copy it, right? You can right click or you can Control C. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my first moose board, and for fall, I don't know why I have that red thing there right now. You are going to paste that adult moose in there because our adult moose survived fall, right? Right here, it survived fall. For breeding success, it did not find a mate. So we'll go down here to our icons. Didn't find a mate is the broken heart. Oh, so sad. You're going to copy that. You're going to go back for breeding success. They're going to paste it in. If it's in the wrong spot, just move it over. So for breeding success, we had a broken heart. Sorry, moose. Next part is fall breeding success. We did not find a mate. Winter forage, we had enough food, but we're not going to have a baby because we didn't find a mate. So keep that in mind. Babies don't appear magically. You need a mate for them. So, however, our forage was enough. So I'm going to copy our forage is enough icon. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to paste that in. It ends up in the wrong spot. Just move it on over. And our next one is summer forage. We had enough. We don't have a calf. So we're just going to put in our forage thing for summer. Since we already copied it, we can just paste it a second time. And we can put them right here. So our final outcome is how many moose do we have at the end of summer before we go into next fall. Since we didn't have any breeding success, but we did get enough food, our adult moose that is here, which this is the other way you guys can copy. You can go to File, make a copy. No, maybe we don't want an entire presentation. So we can go to Edit Copy. And then, like if your right clicking isn't working for you, you can go to Edit Paste. and then you move your moose down into that bottom box. So over this whole season, we had one moose survive. It did not reproduce. It did not make babies. Next, when it's time to work with your second moose, what you need to do is the following. You need to go up here to hit the refresh button. And once you do that, if you see, we get a new set of circumstances that happen to our moose. Now this one's going to be a little bit easier. It's unfortunate for the moose, but it's easier for us because in the fall, oops, gosh, I don't know why it does that. Let's see if I can fix that. Well, it looks like I'm not going to be able to fix that, so we're going to do another one. Oh, here we go. So in the fall, we got sick and died, so we're not going to be finding a mate because we're dead. We're not going to have a baby for winter forage because we're dead, and we're not going to have anything going on in summer forage because we're dead. So what we do here is, in the fall, we didn't even survive fall. So what we do is we grab the RIP icon for adults. We put that up here. Or over there, and we move it over here. And what we're left with is nothing in the rest of these columns. You can't breed if you're dead. You can't eat if you're dead. You can't eat if you're dead. And your outcome, if you want to make another copy there, because we have nothing coming out of this one, our outcome is just basically dead moose. No moose came out of this one. So then we go back. And I feel like I can do this a little faster now. So we hit refresh again. And we have another get sick and die. Once it says get sick and die and fall, there's nothing you can do about it except for put those RIPs on there. Since I already had it copied, it's an easy paste. All right, we're not having such a good season here. All our moose are dying. All right, so we're going to go do our fourth moose. So if you look, we survived. We found a mate. We had enough forage with a baby, and we had enough summer forage with the baby. So if we survive in fall, it's just us, right? So we start with the one moose, the adult moose, and again, you might have to move it over. We did have breeding success, so we're going to have to go to our last slide because we found a mate. So we're going to put in it's going to paste wherever it wants to paste, and you just move it to the proper box. We had winter forage with a baby. So we're going to put our winter forage in there. And since I don't have a baby to copy on my board yet, I'm going to go get that baby. And go back to my plain board. And baby's going to paste wherever. But I'm going to move that baby so it's right next to my forage. Right? Summer forage. I'm able to memorize this, so I'm just telling you what it is from my memory instead of going back and forth to make it faster. So for winter forage, or summer forage, excuse me, we survived. We had our baby survived. Move my baby down. So at the end here, we had mama moose who survived, and we also had baby moose who survived. So for rounds 5 through 10, you are going to continue to fill out your board with your teacher, going back and forth from the moose generator until we get all the way to the 10th moose. So I'll actually, since we got another get sick and die, and that's an easy one, I'll put in for round 5, right? If we got sick and died, there's no way we can mate. So if it's a sick and die in the first one, you can no breeding, can't eat in winter if you're dead, can't eat in summer if you're dead. So overall, you would just be dead. There would be no moose at the end. So you're going to finish the last 6 with your teacher, and then you guys are going to be breaking out and working on the activity in your class. I hope you understand everything that's going on here with the moose game as we look at breeding and how the moose develop the next generation. Thank you guys, and have a great day, scientists.